Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Richard Chris, the president of Redco Distribution based in Houston. Richard, how you doing?
Kemp, I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you having us on today.
Yeah, you got an open house going on April 3rd. You've moved your location in Houston to a new location. Let's talk about a little background. Company's been in business for 15 years, and while you're based in Houston, you also service Austin and Dallas. You're a wholesale, open to the trade concept, right?
Kemp, that's right. We primarily focus on wholesale logistics in the Dallas, Austin, and Houston market. We've been doing that since 2010 when I founded the business with Adrian Red Ford.
And that's why it's called Redco, is because Adrian had red hair, right?
He did, and Red had been known in the flooring industry as Red Ford for about 30 or 40 years before we founded Redco together. We felt like we'd play off of that name, and it has stuck, and Redco will always be Red.
All right, so who's your transaction customer? Is it mostly on the commercial side or residential side? Tell us a bit more about the business.
So our business is split. It's about 60-70% residential. We do a fair bit of commercial work through the design centers, and we're primarily servicing those builders, designers, and general contractors, whether they're doing a residential project or commercial, providing the flooring products, sundries to the product itself, carpet, wood, laminate, and tile.
Well, you know, they say down in Texas, everything's big in Texas. So I'm going to ask you this question, and it's probably not going to be the norm, but how's business?
You know, business has been a little bit soft this past 6 months, but recently in the last 6 weeks, we've seen an uptick in traffic in all three of the design centers. So while it has been soft and a little bit off this past year, we see optimism, and we may have an opportunity to see a little better year than 2024.
So how do you promote yourself?
Promotion for us is primarily on our website and outside sales reps. So we get out in the field and hit the streets for sure. And then some of that is sort of networking, working every day to take care of the people we've been in business with for the last 15 years and try to grow in those relationships with both customers and vendors alike.
And how do you differ from, say, a full-service retail flooring outlet?
In some ways, we're similar in the brands that we carry with some of the larger brands, but we don't advertise directly to the consumer, so we don't do any retail or consumer advertisement, and we don't install for consumers directly. So our primary focus is always to the trade and builders, designers, and contractors.
Tell us a bit more about your showroom layout. I mean, consumers come in there, does it look like a warehouse, or do you actually have tables that people can look at samples? Tell us a bit more about that.
It's a full-service design center, so consumers will see on the carpet side brands from Mohawk and Shaw and engineered floors to Kuristan, Fabrica, Dixie, Maslin, Kemp. It's quite a large selection, full rack center. Likewise on the wood as well as SPC and laminate side, it very much is about a 6,000 or 8,000 square foot design center with a significant number of products for selection. Our goal servicing a large restoration community is that we do a little bit of a lot of things. And so that design center is full service, staffed with designers, will call, and professional team able to help people with questions about installation, product, and performance. It's quite a challenge covering a lot of products and a lot of installation situations.
Tell us about the balance between flooring that goes into new construction versus remodel. How does that shake out for you?
You know, for us in the design center, the selection process is similar. Whether we're working with a designer on a commercial job or residential. But certainly it's a challenge when you're doing single family, particularly if it's a new home or homeowner that's making their first purchase, where they may not be as experienced, and that selection process can be quite lengthy. They may make multiple trips into the store and certainly have a lot more questions than an experienced flooring designer. And so it presents a unique challenge, and we do have to treat those customers in those segments differently in the buying experience.
Okay. So your event's on April the 3rd. You tell us a bit more about that. Is it a sale or are you having a band?
We have decided we wanted to celebrate our 15 years and include all of the vendors, customers that have been so important to us, such an instrumental part of our business, that we didn't create a selling event. We're going to have a live band and open bar, and we're going to feed them and give away prizes supported by just our tremendous vendors. Celebration, Kemp. So we'd love to have you if you're in the Houston area.
Okay, Richard. Well, it's good to talk to you, and thanks for sharing your business model with our listeners. Again, been talking to Richard Chris, the president of Redco Distribution based in Houston, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr in FloorDaily.net.